Hey guys, I'm here. Beneath the vast, frozen landscapes of Russia, where the earth sleeps under a blanket of permafrost, and time itself seems reluctant to pass, archaeologists have made a discovery that rattles the bones of history. In a shallow grave, shielded from the eyes of the living for centuries, a pair of rusted iron handcuffs lay waiting. Their surfaces are pitted and corroded, orange-brown with age, yet they remain unmistakable in form, a device meant for one chilling purpose: to restrain a human being. These mute witnesses to a forgotten time whisper of lives halted, freedom stripped away, and a fate wrapped in secrecy. But who exactly were the men or women who once wore them? Were they condemned criminals, captives taken in battle, enslaved laborers, or the targets of some grim ceremonial act? The soil does not give up answers willingly, but it gives clues, and each clue tugs at the thread of a mystery that stretches back into the prehistoric dusk. In the barren landscape of northern Russia, where the bite of winter lingers almost year-round and the very earth seems to slumber beneath a thick layer of frost, a small team of archaeologists unearthed something that jolted them from their routine excavations. It was not a Viking treasure hoard, nor remnants of a prehistoric settlement. It was something far more intriguing and far more disturbing: a pair of iron handcuffs. The discovery was made during the summer months, when the frozen surface thaws enough to allow for digging. Even then, the going is tough, and the discovery all the more remarkable for the harsh conditions under which it was made. Here, in a remote river valley far from prying eyes and modern conveniences, the team had been excavating what they initially believed to be a seasonal hunting camp. Layers of soil and ice gave way slowly, revealing signs of human activity from a bygone-era: animal bones, primitive tools, and shards of pottery. Then, around late July, as the sun dipped low in the sky earlier each day, and the chill returned to the air, the glint of metal caught their attention. At first, it was just a gleam amidst the brown earth. Nothing out of the ordinary, in a place where tools and weapons occasionally turn up. But as the archaeologists brushed away the dirt, the shape of the object became clearer: two linked iron rings, crude, but unmistakable in their design, a relic of a time when iron was a precious material and skilled craftsmanship was measured in ounces of metal saved and well-placed hammer strikes. When they carefully lifted the handcuffs from the ground, their weight surprised them. And as they turned them over in their hands, tracing the contours of the cold metal, it became clear that these were no mere trinkets. They were instruments of restraint, designed to bind and control. The edges of the handcuffs bore signs of extensive use, and the links of the accompanying chain were thick and unforgiving. Whoever had worn them had not been able to slip away without help. The archaeologists immediately recognized the significance of the find. These were not the trappings of a casual hunter-gatherer band, but the markings of an organized society with power to enforce obedience. What secrets did they hold? And what mysteries could be unlocked by the silent testimony of rusted iron? As news of the discovery spread, experts from various fields raced to put together the fragmented pieces of this ancient puzzle. Archaeologists and historians examined the handcuffs closely, looking for clues in their design and construction. Anthropologists and geneticists prepared to sift through the human remains found at the site, hoping to glean insights into the health, migration patterns, and daily life of the people who had lived there. Geochemists analyzed the soil and plant remains, seeking to reconstruct the environment and diet of the time. All the while, archaeologists worked tirelessly to excavate the rest of the site, uncovering more artifacts and piecing together the story of the settlement. As the summer waned and the nights grew longer, the team pressed on, driven by the desire to understand the lives of the people who had lived, worked, and died here so long ago. Unveiling the secrets of iron, the iron handcuffs themselves provided an array of clues. First and foremost, the metal's composition. The metallurgy involved in creating such a complex object spoke to the technological prowess of the culture that produced it. Iron was not a common material in prehistory, and its presence here signaled a society capable of smelting and shaping the metal with considerable skill. Further analysis revealed traces of nickel and manganese in the iron's composition, suggesting it had been mined and smelted with deliberate care, perhaps even traded from distant regions known for their metalwork. This detail alone added another layer of complexity to the mystery, raising questions about the society's reach and influence. The very existence of such restraints pointed to a structured society with hierarchies, rules, and means of enforcing them. This challenged conventional notions of prehistoric life, often viewed as a time of loose tribal affiliations and minimal social organization. The handcuffs whispered of a culture where subjugation and control were not merely tolerated, but institutionalized. Among the items discovered near the handcuffs were fragments of bone, including what appeared to be ribs, a skull, and a jawbone. Analysis revealed that these remains likely belonged to several individuals, some of whom had been buried with a level of care suggesting they were not merely casualties of war or victims of violence, but perhaps members of a community who had died under unfortunate circumstances. The condition of the bones, along with ceramic fragments and bits of everyday tools, indicated that the settlement had not been abandoned abruptly, but had likely seen better days. Adding to the enigma, several of the objects bore strange markings, including geometric patterns and what seemed to be stylized human figures. These symbols, unlike the handcuffs, had resisted the ravages of time, their purpose and meaning still a secret code. Unveiling the story of the settlement, as the investigation widened, so did the mystery. The handcuffs had been found in what appeared to be a burial context, nestled in the earth as if placed there intentionally. The absence of the person to whom they once belonged raised more questions than it answered. Was this individual, whoever they were, a casualty of violence or a victim of circumstance? Did they die at the hands of their captors or perish slowly under the weight of their confinement? And if they were buried with such grim reminders of their fate, what story did their grave tell about their life and their death? Each new discovery seemed to open more chapters in this silent narrative, each page filled with tantalizing clues and cryptic messages from a long-gone world. The team found evidence of a once thriving community, complete with homes, workshops, and a communal space. Here, hundreds or perhaps thousands of years ago, people had lived, worked, and interacted, their lives governed by customs and traditions that were both familiar and alien to modern eyes. As they sifted through the artifacts, the team uncovered everyday items that hinted at the routines and rituals of the people who had lived here. Cooking vessels, tools for processing hides, and weapons for hunting all painted a picture of a society adapting to its environment in practical and often brutal ways. The utensils suggested a communal style of eating and cooking, hinting at shared meals and social gatherings. The weapons, meanwhile, spoke of a world where survival often meant conflict, forcing the inhabitants to defend their territory against outsiders or rival groups. Perhaps most striking were the personal belongings, items that once had belonged to individuals who walked the same ground that the archaeologists now trod. Amulets, ornaments, and jewelry suggested beliefs and values rooted in the natural world, with many objects incorporating animal bones, teeth, and claws in their design. These personal touches provided a rare glimpse into the hearts and minds of a people whose voices had been lost to the sands of time. Unveiling the legacy of control, the presence of handcuffs in a burial suggests a disturbing possibility. Did the person to whom they belonged meet a violent end? And if so, what was the cause of their untimely demise? Was it a crime, a punishment, or simply a means of ensuring someone never escaped their grasp? The answer, whenever it is uncovered, will shed light not only on the fate of one individual, but on the nature of authority and control in a prehistoric society. Such artifacts challenge conventional views of early human interactions, suggesting that law and order, or their harsher cousin, oppression, existed long before organized governments. They force us to confront the uncomfortable truth that humanity's darker impulses, the desire for dominance and subjugation, have deep roots in our collective past. As the investigation continues, the legacy of the iron handcuffs will serve as a stark reminder of the lengths to which people will go to maintain power and the depths of cruelty they are capable of inflicting on their fellow human beings. The story they tell is not just a tale of a bygone era, but a reflection of the enduring challenges to human progress, the constant struggle to balance order with freedom and justice. In the annals of history, there are few artifacts as evocative and unsettling as the iron handcuffs found in a Russian grave. They stand as a testament to the capacity for cruelty that exists within humanity, reminding us that beneath the veneer of civilization, primal instincts and desires for control still linger. As archaeologists continue their work, the hope is that they will not only unlock the secrets of the past, but also illuminate the path toward a better future by shedding light on the shadows of our ancestors.